Get some cool stuff. This is my columbine. There's an onion growing in the middle of it. That's my BFF right there, probably choking on a wood chip. Apple tree right there, doing its thing. Carrots that I sowed last year. We've already harvested quite a few. There's some that are left. Yeah, we'll get some of them later. Let's go take a look at some onions. Here's a few onions that I planted. They're doing okay, right? What do you think? Pretty good? Not too bad for growing in wood chips. Y'all didn't know you could grow onions in wood chips? Now you do. Let's look at the elderberry. Here's the elderberry that I planted last year. I grew it from a stick. See some strawberries down there at the bottom, pushing through the wood chips in some areas. Some garlic over here, doing really well. That should be done soon. But I want to go to the back over there. There's some green sticks in front of those luscious strawberry plants that are also growing in wood chips. Folks, make note of this. If you're having trouble growing your strawberries in wood chips, it's probably because they're just not broken down enough. They're not mature enough. You didn't use soil pockets. Come on over here. Let's look at this. I'm going to show you something neat. There's 4 green sticks here. One right there. One right there, one right there, one right there. Y'all are going to learn a little something about propagation. How did Creedmoor Fury do that? Y'all can see the one in the middle doesn't appear to have any growth on it, but it does because the buds are in place to produce green leaves. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. Okay? I'm going to show you how I did this really quickly. See that branch right there? Last fall, I simply cut the growth off of it. That same angle, nothing special. Look, I just chopped it off with some snips. Paul talks about those snips, they're great. It's roughly 3/4 to an inch above a node. The node is where those little bits of green leaves are growing out of. Okay, it's easy to identify this. Just cut up about 3/4 of an inch. Sometimes an inch is better because it's going to die back, it's going to seal. Biofilm forming bacteria is going to coat it and it's going to stop dripping fluids out of it. So yeah, you can cut this without worrying, okay folks? You really can. Nature knows how to deal with this stuff. I'm gonna let it go because all I did was cut that off and I stuffed it in the ground right there. Your eyes are not deceiving you. That's wood chips over the top of older wood chips, over the top of even older wood chips, over the top of even older wood chips. All I did was cut it and pushed it into the chips. Did that last fall. This fall, these are going to be trees somewhere. But this spring, they're emergent baby trees. This works with so many perennials. It even works with some annual plants. Give it a try if you haven't done it. Creedmoor said to give it a try. You're going to amaze yourself. We've talked about using rooting balls in the past, but they're not necessary in some cases. All right. That's pretty cool, right? What do we want to do? Y'all want to look at some blueberries real quick? You having trouble growing your blueberries in the wood chips? There's blueberry. I grow these the same way. I can just cut a branch off and stuff it in the ground. Sometimes I'll use rooting bowls depending on what time of the season it is, what time of the year it is. There's potatoes planted right here, but you don't see them because they're not up. There's another blueberry here. The roots aren't so intertwined because these blueberries are young. I planted them last year. So I can still have potatoes here, even though this is a blueberry orchard. Look at that. Critters digging up Creedmoor's garden. Oh, I need to give that to somebody. There's another one. And here's the mamas. Those are the hosts. There's 2 of them here. There's some bees in this one. See if they want. It doesn't look like they want to be videoed today. I shot some video of them the other day and they got a little bent out of shape. But this is what happens. So these guys are in here about 5 years now. They're doing fantastic. They're the host to all of my other blueberry children. We don't bother with seeds. We use cuttings. If we're not using cuttings, I'm using what's called mass growth. See this right here? This cane? It's coming off a root down in the soil. If I was to pull the soil away, you'd see roots on that. It could be separated from the mother. Let's go closer, because that's the mother. You can see right there, those main canes right there, that's the mama. Everything else of this is a migration. It's massed growth migration. There's even a pine tree in here. We'll get rid of that. But this stuff right here, you see, it's underground, okay? It's growing from the roots, and it's growing straight up like a mast on a ship that, you know, you might put a sail on or a flag. All I have to do is pull this back, and eventually, you see it already, how that's moving together? There's root mass in there. Separate this and plant it. All right? I know it seems strange. I'm growing these blueberries here, and my dog is standing on my potatoes. Okay, I'm going to have to pause for a second. So anyway, if you get a chance and an opportunity to expand your fruiting bushes, you can do it by pulling the mast growth. You can do it by clipping off the canes or a branch, especially if it's still got some growth hormone in it because it's early in the season, and just drop it in the soils. There's a bee right there. They're working hard. The third method would be to use air rooting balls that would sit up here. Y'all have seen the videos of that. I've made enough of them now. And of course, the fourth method is to actually use a blueberry and a seed. But we don't do that because it's not necessary, and it doesn't really take us far enough forward. We really want to have some growth that's established, and taking something from a cane with a rooting ball or taking something from mass growth with its own root is always going to take you to the fruit much sooner. But both of these have been my hosts for years. Don't even know how many places have these blueberries in them now because we've been giving them away for so long. Right? Same with the strawberries back there. I've probably got about 500 strawberries this year. That should be enough. Not right there, but they're all over the farm. So what else can I say? I don't know. Probably already took up too much of your time. God bless, folks. Y'all be good. Get out there, grow a little. The more you grow, the more you know. Or is it the other way around? The more you know, the more you grow? Don't know. There's a ladybug on me right here. Apparently the ladybug likes it here. Peace, folks. Like, love, subscribe, and share.